Hi friends, welcome back. So we got to talk about what's going on over at New York Community Bank. We've done a few videos on this already, and there's something even more crazy with drama over there, and we'll address some other stories in the stock market. So first, just read the headlines. NYCB takes 2.4 billion hit, flags weakness, and replaces the CEO. What? And I thought they just got a new one, so now they're already replacing it again. The stock is now down 22% in the after hours. You guys can see this had a horrible year, and then this news came after market close, and so that's why it's down. And I always find this stuff shady. It's just the way that works. You wait till the market closes, and whoever needs to get out gets out, and then they announce the bad news, and then some people are stuck holding the bag, evidently. I want to read through some of this stuff, show you exactly what I'm looking at, and then kind of share some thoughts of why I think something fishy is going on over there at New York Community Bank. That's what it smells like. So this says here, New York Community Bank took a 2.4 billion hit to earnings as identified weakness with its loan review process. So I guess something's wrong with how they do the loans is what they're saying. And wrote down the value of past deals. So we're taking a loss on things that happened a long time ago. In fact, it goes back to 2008, which I'll show you, which is strange. Alessandro Danello will be the chief officer, succeeding Thomas Cangemi. So they're replacing the CEO. And then here's a quote here. Management identified material weaknesses in the company's internal controls related to the internal loan review. So they're blaming people on the inside for not doing a good job or something. That's how I read that. And then it says here, resulting from ineffective oversight, risk assessment, and monitoring activities. And this is probably involves commercial real estate. That's just sort of what we've been watching about this commercial real estate kind of iceberg looming. Moreover, it says here, the announcement reignites a drama that erupted at the end of January. So beginning of, if you guys remember, which actually was just end of January. So that was just a little while ago, like a month or so ago, which is slashes dividend and stockpile cash to cover troubled loans. And what they announced, if you guys remember this, they were saying, okay, we had like a couple bad loans. It looks bad. And then we're putting a bunch of cash to the side because we think there'll be more bad loans in the future. Essentially, people aren't paying them and the money's stopped flowing. That's what's going on here. And then, moreover, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that they have this weird thing. They're mentioning something with the 2008 financial crisis. Like, what? So this is what I want to go over with you. It says impairment charge. The company said it is retroactively booking 2.4 billion goodwill impairment in last year's fourth quarter tied to the value of transactions before the 2008 financial crisis. Like, this is a long time ago. And so then basically, like, they're talking about their process is messed up. We're like looking at how we review stuff, replacing the CEO. Stock is down, 27% in the after hours. It's like crazy down on the year. You guys can see this. And now we're like talking about stuff that happened like in 2000, before 2008. So it's like, what? And my understanding is essentially this goodwill impairment stuff. It'd be like you're overpaying for whatever assets. So maybe they bought whatever buildings or whatever, and then those things also go down in value and you're taking a loss. So that's where this 2.4 billion comes from, losing money. So it's weird. It's weird. Like, it's just this, how I read this is like, why are these skeletons coming out from like a long time ago? Now, according to them though, this is NYCB, they're saying the hit, and the 2.4 billion, I think what they're referring to, the hit has no impact on the firm's regulatory capital ratios. That's how much cash you have on hand to meet the regulations, right, and the be in compliance. Nor does it affect compliance with outstanding credit agencies, NYCB said. The impairment charge that didn't result in any current cash expenditures. See, the thing is, like, they're saying everything's fine, we're all hunky-dory. Then they also say things are going bad. They're saying a couple different things. And then I can see the stock is down 27% in the after hours. That's why I said I just feel like something fishy is going on over at NYCB. And then they replace the CEO. So, I mean, that's what I just showed you exactly what I'm looking at. We'll keep an eye on this one. You're always worried about contagion with this kind of stuff, of course. And any of the banks that are exposed to commercial real estate, I think are on edge. So that was probably the big story of the market. Let me show you a couple other things that were also going on. So markets actually were up today. You can see most of the sectors were up. Financials were down a little bit, stables down a bit, and healthcare was down a bit, but it was led by your tech companies essentially. And so your big ones like Google, Microsoft are up. NVIDIA keeps going up. Hey, if you're on the green train going long in NVIDIA, you're loving it. And in fact, AMD and Intel also did well. It did well today as well, which I'll talk about in a moment here. The bonds, so we got the 2 years at the 4.63 and then 10 years at 4.26. Keep an eye on the 2 year. If it goes above 5, we'll keep an eye on that. This was the headline over at Wall Street Journal. NASDAQ closes at record high on AI optimism. Of course it does. It's all been about AI. And I guess I was looking into this. I guess AMD said they're going to increase making chips to compete with NVIDIA. And then Dell was saying like, hey, we're getting to AI servers. I think this is going to be a theme going forward. Companies are going to either be like, hey, we're spending our money AI to be cool. And, maybe all of the people who are, shareholders / investors in said companies in anywhere around the market is like, hey, I hear about this AI. Like, what are you doing with AI? So there'll be companies that will be, announcing plans for AI. And then there'll be companies announcing like the picks and shovel strategy, meaning support of AI. My personal opinion is a lot of this stuff is a bubble. It's just my opinion. But I mean, if we all believe it, I guess it keeps going up. But yeah, Dell and AMD are trying to take advantage of this stuff. The other thing that too is kind of interesting is talking about China, because I try to keep you guys informed of everything around the market. There was some weird story here where they banned a hedge fund like high-speed quant trading. And so they're essentially really trying to clamp down of people moving assets too fast. That's how I read this over equities. I could say too fast. It's probably a better way to say it, more precise. But it's strange, and to just ban certain funds or whatever is kind of odd. And this is something the government can do to you in China. Whatever they want is just like, well, we don't like you, screw you, you're frozen, that kind of thing. So be careful over there. And this kind of, when you hear these kind of stories, it makes foreign money coming in a little bit shy to do that. Because if anything ever goes wrong, domestic money gets their money back first, and then the foreign money is last. Also, too, talking about crazy raw deals in the market, and you'll see this stuff, and this is sort of why it's fun to cover these kind of stories if you're interested in business in the market, is the Trump SPAC. So if you followed this one, this was Truth Social. This was the DWAC stock. Was it 2 years ago they announced this thing? I can't remember. And if you followed it when they first announced it, it went up. It went from like $10 to like 170, like in a day, for real. It was an overnight thing. I remember this clearly, and I remember looking into it like, what the heck is this thing? And it didn't seem like a real company, and just the whole thing seemed like a scam, basically. Now, as it turns out, so this is a Trump company. I guess Trump's partners are suing Trump and others, saying that before they go and do the merger, so that's when the SPAC essentially goes to, and changes their ticker, and then start trading as a new ticker. They're saying that's like Trump is going to be like trying to dilute and get a cash grab to pay for his legal bills and such. So that's the thing. And I guess the people that Trump partnered with are like a couple people from the TV show that he did, The Apprentice. I don't remember these guys, but these are the names of it. So it says here, the existence of the case was revealed in Delaware Chauncey Court, filing from United Atlantic Ventures, a partnership set up by Andy Latinsky and Wes Moss. So I don't remember these guys, but if you guys watch the show, you may remember these two, who they are. Two former contestants of the reality TV show. They are seeking the speed of proceedings as TMTG moves forward towards a stock market listing through a merger. And what they're worried about the last minute stock grab is the quote, and they're worried that Trump and his buddies are going to do that. So that's going to be an interesting one, how that plays out. Essentially we talked about this before, where Trump's buddy Cardone is trying to raise money for him on GoFundMe. And I guess now he's trying to like screw his business partners over at Truth Social. So always drama in the market, guys. Always drama in the market. Other things going on too. This was an interesting one. I keep tabs on this one every now and then, because there's always funky stories about it. And we're talking about Fisker. So Fisker came out and said like, yo, maybe sales aren't going to be so good, that I got so much cash left. And the thing that was really key and really interesting is that I think they might get bought out. There's a possibility. Well, at least maybe they're trying to like pretend they are to try to raise spirits over there. Who knows? So if you don't know Fisker, they're an EV company, a car company. Henry Fisker was a CEO / founder. He had I think 1 or 2 other failed companies before. And I remember the Fisker. I thought it was a cool looking car, to be perfectly frank. Whether or not it ever works or actually really comes to fruition is anyone's guess. But they're saying, this is the quote from them, from Fisker: negotiations with a large automaker for a potential transaction, which could include an investment in Fisker, joint development of 1 or more electric vehicles, and North American manufacturing. You take that as you may. Evidently, though, the market's like, no, I don't believe any of it. Stock went down 36%. So I don't know. And it's funny because I was looking at the market cap of this thing, and I'm bringing up Fisker. It's trading at around 400 million market cap. Like if Elon Musk wanted to come in and just buy this company, he totally could, and that would actually wouldn't be a bad move. If you're looking for new products, you got a company that's completely failing. You can pick it up on the cheap, like 50 cents a share kind of thing. We'll see. I'm just making stuff up there. I'm just telling you, it's pure speculation. If Elon Musk wants to buy it, Fisker, he's welcome to do it. I mean, he paid $44 billion for Twitter. I mean, why not? What's $500 million for Fisker? And maybe you might get a deal, get it for $300 million. But if I had to guess, though, I think Fisker's in real trouble here, and they may get delisted. And when that happens, it's harder to bring more money into the company, et cetera. And we'll see. I don't know. I just said I'm just sharing with you. And when you kind of see this stuff because I've seen this stuff happen where in a downturn in the market, a lot of these kind of how can I say, startup companies end up failing, and then their share values go down so low that someone comes in and swoops up and just picks up all these cheap assets, right? And you also might see a lot of this kind of stuff going forward. Or they just fade into oblivion. So I'm laughing. I mean, if you're holding Fisker, you're probably not laughing at all. So part of my laughter here, but I just thought that was an interesting story to mention. And you got to take a sense of humor with this kind of stuff. And hopefully you got out long ago and didn't ride this thing out of the bottom. And there's no honor in going to zero at this kind of stuff. So it is what it is. This is also something I want to talk with you guys about too. And this is Shohei Ohtani. It was an interesting headline just a few hours ago that he's getting married. It's like, surprise, I'm getting married. And if you know who he is, he got a massive contract from the LA Dodgers. It's like 10 years, I think it was like $700 million. They're saying 680. It's like in the $700 million range, which is a lot of money, right? 10 years, $700 million, not bad. The reason why I'm bringing this one up is that if you look at his Instagram, and this is how he announced it, he just put like this, text right here in Japanese, and this is the translation. I'll read it to you. This is on his Instagram 17 hours ago. It says, "To all my friends and fans throughout, I have an announcement to make. Not only have I begun a new chapter in my career with the Dodgers," talking about the LA Dodgers, right, baseball, "but I have began a new life with someone from my native country of Japan, who is very special to me and wanted everyone to know I am now married. I am excited for what is to come, and thank you for your support." And that's it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I just think it's an interesting point to make when, not everyone has this bling bling culture all the time that you see on YouTube. This guy, he's got money. I mean, he's $700 million contract, man. That's legit money. He probably married someone really wonderful, etc. And he's probably gonna have a really nice wedding. I wouldn't be surprised. But he's not like flashing it all over the place, right? And stuff like that. Like literally he just comes out with this text box that says, "Hey, surprise, I'm married." Like he already got married, and maybe they're gonna go on a honeymoon. And he's, I'm just saying, don't feel like, if you have material gains that you have to show it to everybody all of the time. Not everybody does that. And I know it may seem like that on YouTube, that everyone, flashes their logo, luxury stuff, and their sports card and stuff like that. Not necessarily, guys. I know a lot of people with money that don't behave in that way. Shohei being one of them. I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying, Shohei being one of these kind of people. And I think there's something to be said for, not just, I guess, throwing money in people's face. There's something to be said for that. And I personally, admire this kind of person. And this is the kind of person that you want on your team. I follow professional sports. I check out the gossips every now and then. And these days, so many of the players, like, I wouldn't even want to be friends with it all. And the owners know it too. And you just have them on their team because they're good, but they have so many behavioral problems, etc. And Shohei is a good example because not only is he the best player in baseball, he's the teammate that you want. And the guy that you want to build your franchise around, essentially. So, at the end of the day, he gets paid loads of money, and handles himself very, very well. So I know we talk a lot about, various negative things going on in the world and stuff like that, but I think this is a really good example of, if you're a parent out there, how to raise your kids, or if you're aspiring to, look up to people, role models, etc. Doesn't mean necessarily you have to, be a professional baseball player, but just the way that he carries himself, I think is very well done. And this was another example of that. And the funny thing about Shohei, I remember when I first started hearing about him, he was getting like all these like crazy offers to, play in the major leagues. And I remember they did a story and he's just like lives in a dorm room. The guy makes millions of dollars, but it's like, it's like, why do I need to get anything else? I don't need, I'm just going to save my money or invest or do whatever. And some players are like that, they don't have to spend all of your money all the time. which is very, very different than what you hear on YouTube. So just wanted to share that story with you. I think it's an interesting one. So I guess he's married now, and I'm looking forward to like hearing like, you know, how long has this been going on, etc. And this is a common thing actually in Asia though, is that many celebrities keep their sort of dating life and private life private. This, you know, I don't necessarily need the press to be taking pictures of me and my dates all the time, and it's a different world. It's hard to explain if you guys haven't been around this stuff before, but like I said, it's something different than what you see on YouTube. Anyway, so I do appreciate Juan watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.